we're watching this fantastic duel between Southeast and Aubrey Rogers. I'm your host, Xavier Sensio.
And I'm David Morgan. And happy Halloween to everyone out there watching. I think this is personally going to be an amazing football game. What do you think, Xavier?
I really think that Southeast is going to absolutely steamroll Aubrey Rogers. We've had a consistently good game streak throughout the entire season. We've been doing great. Just overall, just Southeast is in a really good position this year. I think Southeast is going to win.
I completely agree. Southeast has been performing very well this season, especially on defense. I'm very interested to see how this game will go.
Right. And it's also senior night for Southeast, so shout out to that. And I guarantee you the Southeast atmosphere must be popping right now.
I completely agree. As I can see down in the stands, it is going off right now. It is very enjoyable to watch.
Say he's starting. Do we have that?
Kicking off for Southeast. Start the ball game will be number 13, Angel Longoria.
Okay, and this is the kickoff with Aubrey Rogers having possession first. Let's see how this goes.
All right, I'm curious to see how Southeast's strategy is going to play out here because they've been playing really defensively really well this entire season, but I'm curious to see what they're going to do against Aubrey Rogers.
And the ball is out, and they now have possession. They are running very good running play on Aubrey Rogers. And oh, they cannot get him down all the way to the 50-yard line for Aubrey Rogers.
Seems like Aubrey Rogers is going to have more of an aggressive approach based off what just happened. I'm pretty sure Southeast is going to try to adapt as if they already are. And I know that Southeast is going to do pretty good here. They're already adjusting some of their players as we're seeing. So let's see how this goes.
I agree. Let's see how this goes. This is going to be very interesting. I wonder how far Aubrey Rogers will go with this possession.
Right.
I am very interested to see what will happen next. And they are doing a running play, gaining nearly 5 yards on that play, bringing us to 2nd and 5.
That's nice. All right. So, yeah, it seems like Southeast so far is having a defensive approach because Aubrey Rogers is trying to have that offense approach to where they're just trying to get points on Southeast and trying to get that iron fist lead. So I'm curious to see what exact approach Southeast is going to take here.
Yes, I'm very interested to see what Southeast's next possession will be like. And this play, they are attempted to trick. They are running with the quarterback, and that is a first down already for Aubrey Rogers. Massive run there, bringing them to roughly the 25-yard line. Very good right there from Aubrey Rogers. What do you say?
I would honestly say I think Aubrey Rogers really did their homework on this one because they're really seeing through Southeast's defense so far. They're already almost first and goal, if I'm not mistaken. Right, David?
They are close. They are very close. Only 10 yards till they are at that position. And the next play has begun. They are attempting to run the ball, and I think that is a gain of 3 yards, bringing us to 2nd and 7.
Alrighty. Yeah, so like I said earlier, I think Aubrey Rogers is really trying to just get that pressure on Southeast because Aubrey Rogers knows that Southeast is really strong and that will be both aggressive and will be strong like a brick house. So let's see what they're going to do here.
Let's see what this next play is going to be. The quarterback's running. I think this is going to be a passing play, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh, and that is an incomplete pass for Aubrey Rogers.
Seems like Aubrey Rogers is trying to apply pressure that they can't have. They're biting off more they can chew. It seems like Southeast is actually doing really good with their defense so far. And like I said earlier, Southeast just in general has been having a really good defense. As long as they keep this defense up, they're going to be able to push Aubrey Rogers off their back, and they're going to be able to start goaling some points.
Possibly. We are now at 2nd and 10, and looks like there is a break in play currently.
Ooh, let's see what the flag here is for. All right. Might have something to do with the incomplete pass. Let's see what the coach has to say.
Quarterback was past the line of scrimmage, so we have an illegal forward pass.
And that is an illegal forward pass on Aubrey Rogers.
Ooh, so this seems like this will benefit Southeast a little bit more, giving Southeast a little bit of a pushing edge here. Don't you agree, Edward? David?
I completely agree, yes. Really got to watch out for that as a quarterback to not throw after you get past the line of scrimmage. Definitely not going to get penalties. That will push you really far back. I think this is a 5-yard penalty, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. I think you are not mistaken. I think you're good.
Let's see what this next play will bring to the table.
Let's see what Southeast is going to do.
And I think that's another penalty.
Oh, no, they're subbing out.
Oh, yeah, timeout.
Timeout. Alrighty, so I think right now Southeast is really trying to adapt, because right now Southeast is trying to really see what Aubrey Rogers is doing, and Southeast is aware that Aubrey Rogers is going to try to go in aggressively, play these risky plays, and how last game with Braden River, they're just going to try to risk it for the biscuit, and Southeast is going to prepare for this, and because they know this, they're going to have something that we call a wild card. And when I say wild card, I mean like they're going to go in and they're going to try and have something that can actually counterplay them. So basically they're just trying to counterplay them in the long run, which is actually going to help Southeast here. And because Aubrey Rogers just got a 5-yard foul, this could actually give Southeast a little bit of a boosting edge. Let's see what actually Aubrey Rogers is going to do here for Southeast. Ooh.
The pass by Coletti was a little bit high.
Yeah, that's not going to look good on Aubrey Rogers. Yeah, that he literally deflected the ball right into Southeast's hands. I kid you not. Also, guys, from the last game, I want to mention this. We now have the scoreboard. So from last game, with how there was no scoreboard, we have one now. So we fixed that inconvenience for you guys. I just wanted to bring that up.
Will be the Aubrey Rogers Patriots. Landon Cammons. The kick falls in the end zone and is no good. There is a penalty on the play. Illegal procedure.
There's actually a penalty on the play. Realistically, it seems like Aubrey Rogers is biting. Like I said earlier, they're biting off more than they can chew, and they're just playing way too risky. And Southeast is really already seeing it through it, so they're just getting out. I don't want to say they're good guys, but they're getting out a really strong defensive lineman. They're just getting good defense so that they can tank and that they can counterplay their aggressiveness and hold them back. I believe it's actually on Southeast this time.
Another.
Man, it's Flagsgiving already. It's Thanksgiving, but for flags. We're just getting flags left to right. Don't you agree, David?
To the previous play, another 5-yard penalty. Moves them back to the
seems like, honestly, seems like Aubrey Rogers just wants to give the ball to Southeast with how many fouls they're giving. If Aubrey Rogers wants to win this, they got to step their game up and play a little bit more safely. And nope.
Let's go, offense! Since the field goal attempt has crossed the goal line, the ball will be brought out to the 20-yard line, where your Southeast Seminoles will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 with 10:05 remaining in the first quarter.
All right.
Leading the Seminoles out on offense will be
all right. I'm very excited to see what Southeast is going to do here, because Southeast is really seeing a huge flaw in Aubrey Rogers, which is how Aubrey Rogers is biting more than they can shoot. They are going in way too aggressive, and it caused them to lose possession of the ball because of how many fouls they committed in the last 2 minutes of game time. And I guarantee you Southeast is going to give them a taste of their own medicine and go in not only with strong aggression, but with good defense, something that Aubrey Rogers probably wouldn't be able to counterplay at first.
I agree. This Southeast appears to be running the ball and multiple failed tackle attempts. I think that is a gain of 3 yards, bringing us to 2nd and 7.
Honestly, I think with Southeast, I think something that they should do with Aubrey Rogers, because they don't really have good defense from what I've seen so far and how they're setting their linemen up. I think that having the ball set on the left or the right, how they did with Braden River, could be a good option to get some extra yards.
I completely agree. Let's see how this is going. Southeast appears to be running the ball, and that is a first down for Southeast, bringing us to the 40-yard line. That was one good play. What do you think?
Honestly, I knew it was right because Southeast had a clear opening with that, and they set it up strategically. They had strong linemen coming in. They had good defense, and overall, they just set that up flawlessly. It was like butter, literally. Like frying butter on a pan or cooking eggs for breakfast.
Let's see how this next play goes. Ooh.
Jackson again takes the handoff and takes the ball up for a gain of about 6 yards to
gain
the
of
Southeast
6 yards
46,
on that play right there.
The Seminoles will be
that's a good chunk
down
towards a first down right there. Only 4 yards left, bringing us to 2nd and 4.
Honestly, Southeast is doing really good right now. Like they already found that rhythm that they need to get the game going, which is going to be really good in the long run, and they're overall finding that flow, which is what's going to help them.
Ooh, and
the slant pass to Powell from Fernandez is incomplete.
Incomplete pass on Southeast. That is not what you want to see right there.
Down and 4.
Us to 3rd and 4.
Honestly, Southeast is doing really good. I think it was just that one pass that kind of messed them up, but they're going to get back on their feet. They're doing good so far.
Completely agree.
Honestly,
Let's see how this next play goes. I do think this will be a first down for Southeast.
Right. It's all about just the cards. You just got to play their cards right, and you just got to set their play up strategically.
There's an illegal receiver downfield on Southeast.
Flag on the play for Southeast with an illegal receiver downfield. That is not good.
Ooh,
bringing us to all the way to 3rd and 9. That is not a position you want to be in.
Yeah, I hate to see it, especially with Southeast literally just having first down and possession of the ball. You literally hate to see it. Like, you can't make it up.
So sad when you just lose all of the progress you just gained. Let's hope they can make it up in this next play right here. Ooh, that is another flag on the play for a false start, I believe. But who is it on?
It might be on Aubrey Rogers, I believe. There's been a lot of false plays lately. And
it's on Southeast, actually.
On Southeast?
Yeah, false start for Southeast.
Penalized for
all right. Honestly, there's been a lot of flags going left and right. I wonder, I think we're just trying, I think the excitement of the game is really exciting because this is the last not regular playoff, but this is the last regular game for Southeast for both teams regardless.
That it is. Let's see how this goes for Southeast. This is not a position you want to be in, but can they dig themselves out of it? Appears to be a passing play. Ooh, and that is an incomplete pass, bringing us to 4 and 4.
Fernandez pass intended for.
Yeah, this is not good. This is something you hate to see, especially for Southeast.
Incomplete.
I think honestly with Southeast, I think something that they could probably do now that they've kind of realized that Aubrey Rogers is not playing tricky anymore, how they were in the beginning of the game. I really think that they could probably go in and just group, meaning that they just like storm them and just like get the ball through the people and try to get some yards, even if it's not a direct touchdown. Because honestly, it's 4th and 4, and if I'm not mistaken, if they don't get the 10 yards needed to reset the down, the ball goes into Aubrey Rogers.
Down and 14.
That is correct. If they do not make 14 yards, they no longer have possession of this ball.
Right.
Let's see how this goes. Appears to be a passing play. Successful pass, but can he make it? I am not
Fernandez
sure.
Let's see if
pass
he made
to
it.
Fields is complete.
It's complete.
And he gets to the 50-yard line.
Appears to be a first down. I'm still waiting
Excuse
for the
me, he
official
got
ruling.
it to the 47-yard line. That will create now a 4th down and 3 situation.
We're now on 4th and 3.
Okay, so Southeast has got another shot here. Let's see what they can do.
Let's see another passing play, and that is a first down for Southeast.
All right.
Great play by our receiver out there.
Sprints out to the right.
Southeast right there really risked it for the biscuit. They set up their shot, and they knew what they knew the odds, and they knew that either they throw the ball and risk it, either fumbling the ball, or they throw it and they successfully catch it, and they caught it. As long as Southeast keeps this momentum up and keeps this pressure, I have no doubt that Southeast has this game in the bag.
Yeah, let's see how this play goes right here. Ooh, appears to be a running play. And that is a first down. That is a first down right there. All the way to the 15-yard line. Bringing us to another 1st and 10. That was beautiful.
By number 4,
Absolutely.
100% by number 4, Cornelius Fields. He is a senior that's 5'9" and is 132 pounds. Good job, Cornelius. That was fantastic.
That was great. Right
Field,
there.
and we have a holding call on
Oh,
Southeast.
seems like there is a flag on the play.
Ooh, what is it for? I think that is going to be a play restart right there.
Oh, that's not good.
That's a lot of yardage lost.
10-yard mark-off is against the Seminoles.
Oh, against the Seminoles.
Southeast.
Ooh, that is not good. Oh,
That
no.
It is not.
However, do we keep our first down?
That would be a mess.
All right, so Southeast still got the yard
another
coverage.
passing play right
Oh,
there. Ooh, and he is going.
And that's a touchdown.
And that is a touchdown for Southeast. First touchdown of the game, bringing the score 6-0, Southeast in favor.
Wow.
That was beautiful.
Wow.
That right there was beautiful.
For a minute, we really thought that Southeast was in a pickle there, but Southeast really turned it around. They pulled it. They not only, I don't want to say they pulled it together, but they played their cards right. They evened the odds out. They literally did, and they got the touchdown as needed.
That it was. Our quarterback, number 3, Liam Fernandez, he has been doing very well this game, if I do say so myself. Honestly, something to behold.
Honestly, let's not sleep on number 4, Cornelius Fields, who's a senior right now. He really helped set up the play and really show Southeast this is how you do the play, and they really took notes from him. And because of that, now it's 6-0, potentially making it 7-0. More points just to get a point lead, and now that Southeast has the 7-point advantage, they can now defend and hold a really pressurizing stronghold, which can overall help Southeast, not only Southeast, but it can turn the game in their favor, which can really help them and overall cook mad flavors.
The ball is now in the air. Let's see what happens. Aubrey Rogers has caught the ball. And ooh, that is a very good stop right there.
Who tackled that? Hold on.
Appears to be number 23, Mr. Darez Armstrong right there. He's a senior.
Who's a running back? Wow.
Yeah, right there.
Wow, he came in like a train. He came out of nowhere.
For the Seminoles.
Yeah. Definitely.
The Patriots from Aubrey Rogers will put the ball in play. 1st and 10 at their own 25.
All right. So it seems like, honestly, with Southeast, now that they stopped Aubrey Rogers, and I remember the name now that they have this pressure hold of where they're almost in the end goal, they could literally defend onto all 4 downs, and they could get no points, and then they can make it 14-0.
I agree. Let's see how this next play goes. It appears to be a passing play. Ooh, and that is an incomplete pass for Aubrey Rogers.
Quarterback number 2.
It's a piece of bad luck right there, honestly.
Yeah, well, I can't even like joke around with this. Aubrey Rogers needs to step their game up. They're like it's like they're not even trying.
Yeah, well, I mean, where you're going up against that Southeast defense. It's hard. It's hard to.
And honestly, you're going up against Southeast, who is number 9 in the state right now. So I don't. It's not that I don't, but it's like it's going to be hard to counterplay them, especially when you get to the end of the game for Southeast. They're really a tough one to pick with.
Yeah, the next play right there. Ooh, and that is an immediate down right there. Right there.
On the carry there was Smith.
That must really suck if you're a player for Aubrey Rogers. Though, like just immediate down for you.
Immediate. Southeast is really like their defense is really like honestly, if I were to rate their defense on a scale of 1 to 10, it's over a 10. It's 100 right now because they have been consistently stopping Aubrey Rogers from making any move, but they've basically like played the game in their favor.
I agree. Ooh, and that is that is an incomplete pass for Aubrey Rogers right there.
Just
oh
my gosh! Just tackled him right in his face. Just wow! Southeast is really going crazy with their defense. They want to make sure that they win this. Don't you agree, David?
Yeah, they have been playing very well on defense. It's a sight to behold, I tell you.
Southeast is like leaving their brutal side a little bit, if I'm going to be honest, right, David?
Let's see how this next play goes. And they are kicking the ball to Southeast again. We have caught the ball, and we are running all the way to the 40-yard line right there. Very close to that end zone and with possession of the ball. I could see us getting another touchdown with this possession. What do you think?
Honestly, I think that if Southeast plays just like this and they're able to score enough points, they can enforce a mercy rule. If they play strong enough, if they have a good amount of defense, and they score enough points in the given time that they have. And honestly, I think Aubrey Rogers here and Southeast might have to time out each other because they're going to have to change their strategy because Aubrey Rogers' composition isn't really working from what it seems like. Don't you agree?
Southeast High School
I do agree with what you're saying. They definitely need to not strategize more, but change their current attack strategy and switch around a few players, play more to their strengths, and notice a lot of the strengths and also weaknesses of the Southeast defense in order to get through it.
Can't even agree with you better than that, David. Words can't express my agreement with you. Like right now with Aubrey Rogers, they need to really change their skill composition because right now, from what we have seen so far, and now that the first quarter is almost over or halfway done, they've been playing risky, and they've in total have lost somewhere between 30 to 50 yards, if I'm not mistaken, already. Which in the long run, you cannot afford to have that, especially with Southeast. If you want to win, you do not want to have that many yards reducted from you.
You cannot. This game has been going quite well for Southeast so far, I will say. Although I will say, Aubrey Rogers, it hasn't been terrible for them. It hasn't been great, but it hasn't been terrible.
Right. I can't agree with you better than that, David.
But it's simply Southeast has won a lot more against other people. And it appears to be a running play with a gain of 5 yards, I believe.
15 is the ball carrier. He takes the ball down to the 35-yard line.
All right. So it seems like Southeast is still playing that strong defense. And honestly, sometimes, even when I'm talking about their defense, sometimes I don't even know how they have such a strong defense. They just, like, if I had to take a really crack at it, I guess, if they just have just good players and they communicate well and they have teamwork. Don't you agree, David?
Of course, they have strong players everywhere. Like, I rarely see them get mentioned, but our offensive line is very good. It's other teams have a lot of trouble penetrating it, and that is a passing play and a first down, I believe.
Yeah, I believe so. It was on the 30-yard line, so it should count as a first down.
I think that brings us to 3rd and 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was just inches off.
Yeah.
Yard line, where it will be second down, third down, and a long 1 yard to go for the first down for
that's
the
good.
Seminoles.
So it's second down.
Yeah.
Alrighty, but yeah, just with Southeast right now, we're doing really good. I think as long as Southeast has this iron fist technique, they're gonna be good.
I completely agree. They are attempting to make another passing play. and I think that's an
Fernandez pass.
interception by
And the
Aubrey
middle
Rogers
is
right there. That
intercepted
is
there by
not good for Southeast. You cannot be getting interceptions right there.
It is not.
Number
Honestly,
two
for a second,
was
I
also
thought
playing
Southeast had the
quarterback.
ball and just got
That
another
is picked
touchdown.
off
But no, it
by
seems like
Luke
Aubrey Rogers
Paletti.
said, nah, I'd win, and got the ball takeover.
It really hurts, though, to be that close to the end zone and then just get an interception. It is not a good feeling, I can tell you.
Yeah, it is not. I can't agree with you more, David. Honestly, I think with Southeast, I think their defense is doing really good. I think they should keep playing their defense. I'm not saying they shouldn't. I think that they could probably mix it up a little bit with their defense and their offense, causing Aubrey Rogers to stagger a little bit.
I completely agree, and that was a very good play by our
Smith,
defense
the running
right
back,
there,
is tackled
bringing
in the
it to
backfield
2nd
by
and 10
that
for Aubrey
senior
Rogers, I
captain,
believe.
Myrie
Yeah, and like I had mentioned earlier with Southeast having a good defense, it's doing a lot for them. And honestly, from the way they've been playing throughout this entire season and as they're approaching the end of the season, it's done them favor. I think, honestly, I want to see what happens if they play both defensively and offensively.
And that is a running play with the quarterback by Aubrey Rogers. And that is a tackle on, I think, the line of scrimmage, bringing us to 3rd and 10 right there. The excitement in the stands right now is unimaginable. I mean, the press box was just shaking. It was because of how many people in the audience were just pounding their feet right there.
Literally, I kid you not. Like, I felt like this entire press box is shaking. I thought it was gonna collapse for a second because of how much like vibrant energy there was.
Yeah, be excited. Don't kill the commentators.
We still got to get home after all.
Don't kill me. I have much more Dr. Pepper to drink.
Uh-oh. Oh, David, it's happening.
Yeah, let's see how this next play goes. And Aubrey Rogers attempts running the ball, and that is another tackle by Southeast. I believe that's a gain of 2 yards for Aubrey Rogers, if I'm not mistaken.
Honestly, with Southeast's defense, I think they should keep playing their defense, but I really want to see if they're going to incorporate another type of strategic element, like if they're going to play offensively more, or if they're going to try to play like those tricks how they did with DeSoto County. And I really liked how they did that because it really did them a huge favor. They didn't have to put in as much work, per se.
I agree. Let's see how this next play goes for Aubrey Rogers. Ooh, they kicked the ball to Southeast. Oh, they are fighting over the ball, and I think Southeast does have possession, though. But that was one quite rather large fight right there.
Yeah, I can't.
Over that ball.
Literally, like the commotion on the field was large for a second.
At the 41-yard
Yes.
line of the Patriots, Kirk Bradley, Southeast Seminoles will be putting the
Our
ball in play first
junior wide
and
receiver, Mr. Travis Powell Jr.
in the
He is one
Patriots'
explosive playmaker, though. Throughout the entire season and this game in particular, it has been something to behold.
I can't agree with you more. Travis Powell has been doing extremely good, not only in this game, but throughout the entire games that we've been able to commentate and see. Travis Powell is one of the best players, if not the best player that we've seen in the Southeast team so far. And honestly, it's doing them really good.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play goes. Appears to be a running play by Southeast. Ooh, and that is a tackle on the line of scrimmage or just after it, bringing us to 2nd and 10 or 2nd and 9.
I think, honestly, because something I'm seeing with Aubrey Rogers, they're really only focusing on just who has possession of the ball. And this is just food for thought. If Southeast were to, fake play of who has the ball and then another person, slowly walking with the actual ball and then, really running when they realize that, I think that could really, not only look good for the highlights for them at least, but it would be very funny while getting them a free touchdown. I think that would be helpful because Aubrey Rogers is having that issue of just focusing on the ball, not anyone else.
I completely agree. Southeast is making a passing play to one of their receivers. Ooh, and he is just pushed back. That was a very, very good defensive play by Aubrey Rogers right there, just stopping that receiver.
They pick up
100%. Honestly, from what I'm seeing too, with not just with number 0 and with all the other players too, but they're all overall, like, they're having a good, like, team structure, and just honestly, they're having that pressure in the game as well, and not just having just good players individually. They're overall doing good as a team composition.
I agree. Let's see how this next play goes. And Southeast is making a passing play. That is a first down for Southeast.
Wow.
All the way, even past the 15-yard line. They are in smelling distance of that end zone. That was one good first down for Southeast. What do you think?
Honestly, I can't even agree with you more, David, because literally, I kid you not, he set that up so perfectly. He threw it, boom, it propelled, and he caught it. It's all about the art of setting things up and the art of persuasion, per se. He set it up nicely, he ordered it well, and they had teamwork. The team is having teamwork, and they are working together, and it's working in favor.
Ooh, and Southeast is running the ball, and that is a gain of no yards, I believe.
On the play off the right side, picks up 5 yards, creating a 2nd and 5 opportunity.
All right, I'm curious to see
2nd and 5. Very, very close to that end zone right there.
Right, 100%. I'm curious to see if Southeast is going to get a touchdown here. And honestly, I think they could if they go in with number 2, because no one's focusing on number 2 other than number 4 from Aubrey Rogers.
Potentially, and that is another running play by Southeast.
Yeah, honestly, I think Aubrey Rogers is only focused on the majority of the players that are in, like, the left or right. I really think that they could spread out their players and really get, like, a balanced distribution. Not only with just a balanced distribution, but they could really pressure Aubrey Rogers into staggering and then giving Southeast the free points. And especially as we approach the end of the first quarter, by the way.
I completely agree. Let's see. Can they make this touchdown before the end of the quarter? I'm not sure. There are only like 30 seconds left. It'll be close. And that is a timeout, I believe, by Aubrey Rogers.
I think that Aubrey Rogers is aware that they have to play this very carefully. Not only just carefully, but they have to play this extremely strategic. I say this because if Southeast, keep this in mind, people, if Southeast gets a second touchdown, they're going to potentially lead between 15 to 16 points in the first quarter. That is bad if you haven't scored anything. And now, not only would this be in severe favor for Southeast, but if Aubrey Rogers does not defend this touchdown or at least make an attempt to cause a safety, Southeast is really going to have a very, like, walk in the park of just steamrolling Aubrey Rogers, if that makes sense. Like, they're basically going to have an easy time winning, and this game essentially is already going to be in their favor.
100%. I mean, being that far ahead at any point in the game is not good, let alone the first quarter.
Right, especially, honestly, like, it could still be anyone's game, realistically speaking here, but Southeast just has this strong iron fist hold defend that I always talk about. If you have that strong iron hold defend on your game, you're going to win 9 times out of 10 or have a strong amount of pressure.
Let's see this play right here. Ooh, and that is a flag on the play. Let's see what it is for.
Let's see what it's for this time. How many flags have we had today so far, David?
I'm not sure. I've lost count. I'd guess maybe 10 or 11, I'd say.
Honestly, I think 10 seems like an accurate number, if I were to be honest.
On Southeast for a false start.
And that is a false start on Southeast, backing them up 5 yards.
All right.
Not good right there.
It's not good, but it doesn't really affect Southeast, but it could make or break the difference of them getting the touchdown. So let's just see how they're going to do this from what I've seen so far. With 35 seconds on the clock.
I have noticed a lot of false start penalties for both teams this game. I sure wonder why that is. And Southeast is throwing the ball. I'm not sure how that ended up from this angle.
I believe they got actually more yards. Hold on, let's see what they say here.
I do believe that was a gain of yards right there.
Yeah, it was complete.
And I think that's a first down for Southeast, if I'm not mistaken.
All right, yeah, this is going to be really good for Southeast. Now they get like 3 extra attempts to getting the touchdown.
First and goal from the
that is first and goal for Southeast.
So
that
now,
is really a position you want to be in. What do you think?
Honestly, David, this is really good for Southeast because now they're locked into getting some level of points, even if it's not a full touchdown. Yep, that's it. Wait, that's a touchdown.
That is a touchdown right there for Southeast.
I told you, if they play these mind games with Aubrey Rogers, they're gonna win. And you see what they did? Now it's 13-0. If they just did that because Aubrey Rogers is too focused on the ball, you can punish them with that, and it worked.
That is what you just love to see in this sport.
100%, David.
They proved me right there. They can get 2 touchdowns with only 30 seconds left on the clock.
Let's see if we can make this 14-0.
Let's see. I believe we can. I mean, conversions are definitely much harder than what we just went through.
This game has been honestly very more energetic, if I were to per se, because of how many fouls and flags there have been.
That it has, and that is an unsuccessful conversion right there.
And the score.
The score is now 13-0, Southeast in favor.
Is your Southeast Seminoles.
I do believe currently Southeast strategy is just attempting to run down the clock for the first quarter and just get that first quarter over with and proceed their momentum into the second quarter. What do you believe?
Right, and honestly, I really think that with Southeast right now, as long as they keep this up and they keep this strong hold, and like I said before, as long as they keep this strong iron fist hold, they're going to do really good.
And the ball is now in the air, and Aubrey Rogers now has possession. Let's see how far they can get. Making it to roughly the 45-yard line right there. Good run by them, I will say.
Honestly, and it seems like we might be ending. I don't want to say we're ending the first quarter at 13-0, but it seems like Southeast is going to have a really good start in their favor because they've not only got 2 touchdowns in 1 consecutive quarter, but they've had Aubrey Rogers stagger so many times in the first quarter. It's working in their favor. They're making this strategic pressure on Southeast, not Southeast, but on Aubrey Rogers, excuse me. And as long as they keep doing this, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to win this easily.
I agree. Let's see how this next play goes. Let's see if they can do anything against that Southeast defense right there. Seems they attempting to run the ball, and that is a gain of roughly 8 yards, I believe. That was a very, very good play by Aubrey Rogers right there.
Honestly, a really decent chunk of yards that they've gained. They could, I wouldn't really want to say that they could still win, but because they might try to pressure something or squeeze in a last-minute play. Or actually, no, never mind. It's actually the end of the first quarter, excuse me. So the first quarter ends with 13-0 for Southeast. And I'm curious to see what actually Southeast is going to have in mind here because it seems like they're going to be subbing in and subbing out some players.
I completely agree. And with this break in between quarters, I actually have a question for you. Which team do you believe has the better uniform?
Oh, now that's a question I've been waiting, David. You have no idea how long I've been waiting for this. I think that Southeast is the better one because, well, not only because I go to their school, but because just the color and just the vibrance and the vivid. Whenever I look at it, I feel like it just feels way better. It feels right. You know, it's not a feeling that you can't necessarily describe. But if I look at Aubrey Rogers, it feels plain. I don't want to be rude like that, but it's very plain and just old. But then compared to Southeast, it's new, it's fresh. But most importantly, it's what Southeast is: the blue and the orange. You fear the spear, and it shows that clearly.
I agree. Both uniforms are good, but I would say Southeast is slightly better. I've always been favorable to the color orange personally, but I personally prefer Southeast uniform. But it's definitely close. Both have their pros and cons, and we are now starting the second quarter.
All right,
let's see how this goes.
Honestly, can't be happier to say that more, David. Let's see what both teams are actually going to do here. Give us more to talk about.
And Aubrey Rogers appears to be running the ball, I believe. And that is a sack right there with a gain of 0 yards, bringing Aubrey Rogers to 2nd and 10.
I wonder why number 2 for Aubrey Rogers just stopped in place for a second. I don't know why he didn't try to run back and like go around him or try to storm past him. I'm really curious for that reason, because he just completely stopped and just let the ball get fumbled.
I'm not sure. Again, we are just simply up here in the press box. I'm sure we'd get a lot more information if we were actually down on that field. But
right.
From this perspective, it is definitely perplexing, I will say.
100%. It is not only perplexing, but it's very, it's extinguishable to see, because it's just interesting just to see what these players do, not only from on the sky view, but just like what they do in general.
Yeah, Aubrey Rogers appears to be making a passing play. Let's see how this goes. They throw the ball, and that is an incomplete pass for Aubrey Rogers, bringing us to 3rd and 10, I believe.
Yeah, honestly, from what we're seeing here, it just seems like Aubrey Rogers, I don't want to say they're giving up, but it just seems like they're making just unusual plays, like something you wouldn't see from a varsity football team. Wouldn't you agree, David?
I completely agree. This has been a
honestly,
very interesting game to watch, and I've greatly enjoyed watching it. Let's see what Southeast defense can put up right now against Aubrey Rogers.
Let's see what we got in the books here. Let's see what cards that they're going to play against their odds to even things out.
Let us see. And they are kicking the ball to Southeast. Southeast looks at the ball. Southeast now has possession on roughly the 30-yard line right there. Xavier, what do you think will happen with this possession?
Honestly, I don't want to say that Southeast is just going to like mollywop them and just completely obliterate their defense, but I really think that Southeast is going to actually play strategic here. Like, they're not going to go in crazy, but they're going to try to passively gain yards. I think that they're going to go in, they're going to get maybe a couple yards, or they're going to try to set up a play that gives them all the yards and then gets them the touchdown right done there and then gives back the ball to Aubrey Rogers from what we've seen so far, settling the score.
I completely agree. Southeast appears to be running the ball straight through that defense with a gain of 4 yards, I believe, bringing us to 2nd and 8.
Honestly, here with Southeast, from what, and honestly, this is just food for thought. And from what I'm understanding with Southeast, they're playing defensively, but they're playing offensively. They're mixing both of the skills of either strategical plan to try to mess up Aubrey Rogers, and they already have them in a staggered position, so I'm curious to see what they're going to do.
Let's see how this goes. Another running play by Southeast, and that is a gain of 3 yards, I believe, bringing us to 3rd and 4, if I'm not mistaken.
And again, with Aubrey Rogers, like they're focusing too much on the center, and I don't want to say that because, well, this is football. They're going to obviously focus on the center, but they're focusing too much on the ball to where there's obvious openings that Southeast could easily take, causing Southeast to get easy points. Like it's nothing.
I completely agree. Let's see what will happen now. And Southeast is running the ball again, and that is a gain of 0 yards, I believe, bringing us to 4th down.
Honestly, it seems like with Southeast, they're running the ball. I don't want to say they're running the ball in to the crowd, but they're running in the ball, trying to run past them, and then they have no one in their way. And it would, I can see their vision why, but I really think just getting the ball like left to right and just going from there would probably be better, because they don't really have as much people evenly distributed on the field. Like with the last touchdown that Southeast got, I think that if they did that, they'd probably get a good amount of yards or a point.
And that is unfortunately a turnover by Southeast, with Aubrey Rogers now having possession. You really can't be turning over the ball. That is the #1 thing you do not want to do right there. It's just something you always got to work on.
Honestly, and especially when you're 13-0, it may help you in the short run, but in the long run, you want to try to have possession of the ball and have more ball time compared to your opposing team, causing, like I said earlier, that staggering position of where it's just harder for them to score points, and they're going to naturally make reoccurrences that they can't make up.
That's the most important thing about winning a football game is just possession of the ball. That is the most important thing, is how long can you have possession of the ball.
Right. And it's just a matter of how good can you hold on to the ball and how good can you defend it.
I agree. And Aubrey Rogers appears to be making a running play, I believe, with a gain of 5 yards, bringing them to 2nd and 5, I believe.
Wow, I'm a little bit confused because I thought number 20 from Aubrey Rogers had the ball for a second, but it seems like what just happened. They threw the ball to their right and just lost yard. I don't know if did they gain yards or lose yards, because I'm just
second down and
shocked.
6
I'm just confused.
for the Patriots.
Correction, it is 2nd and 6 for the Patriots.
Okay.
And they are running the ball again. I think that is a gain of 1 yard, if I'm not mistaken,
Smith
bringing us to 3rd and 5.
And honestly, it's a little bit, I don't want to say it's difficult to see up here, but it is a little bit challenging to see what's happening, especially when they're all the way over there to the right where we can't have a clear angle. So again, me and David apologize if we can't get like that close in detail, but like from what I've seen at least, they're just running the ball over there for something. Agree, David?
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play goes by Southeast and Aubrey Rogers. Aubrey Rogers attempts to make a passing play, and that is an incomplete pass by Aubrey Rogers. Very close, very close. That would have been insane if they would have caught that ball. Unfortunately, their receiver did not, leading us to the current position they are in.
Honestly, with Aubrey Rogers, they're making really unorthodoxical plays. Like they're not, like they're playing like a regular football team would, but they're making really unusual plays. And it's not just happening in the first quarter, because sure, you mess up once, you might, I don't know, maybe drop the ball and you cause an incomplete pass, or maybe you just throw the ball and you have to because you're forced to. But it's been consistent with Aubrey Rogers, which is weird.
Ooh, I think that is a flag on the play right there. Who is it on and what?
Prior to these.
All right, let's see what flag that we got this time. How many flags? We should not. Dave, we should honestly keep
timeout by the Patriots, I believe, right there.
Right, and honestly, I apologize, but I was gonna say that we should have count of like how many flags we have, not just for Southeast, but just the game in general, because there's been a lot of like foul plays on the flag, not on the flag, but on the game. Excuse me.
Yeah, we need to get ourselves a little tally sheet up here. Have a little over/under on how many flags are gonna be on the game.
Let's see how many flags each team has, even our team.
Let's see. And I would just personally like to give thanks to the all 26 people currently watching the stream. You mean the world to me, and thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. We thank you very much. If you like these type of podcasts, if you like our commentary, please be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really goes a long way.
Yeah. And that is a sack with a loss of 4 yards, I believe, for Aubrey Rogers. That is
quarterback
not good.
It's not good for Aubrey Rogers, but it is sure nice to hear news from Southeast. And honestly, with Southeast's defense, they're really starting to go back on the defense route. They're not playing with a mixture of both offensive and defensive elements, but they're just mixing the fact of just playing defensively and trying to get Aubrey Rogers to purposely mess up the ball. And they understand that Aubrey Rogers is, I don't want to say they're like the worst team in the world, but they understand that they have flaws, and they're going to milk that. They're going to use that to their advantage. We can clearly see that from Southeast's perspective.
Southeast now has possession of the ball. Let's see how this possession goes. They are currently running the ball, and that is a gain of
goes to
5 or 6 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Bringing us to 2nd and 4.
Second and 4.
Right. And honestly, with Southeast as well, I'm really just seeing that right now their strategy is doing good, their players are doing good, everything is doing good right now. And this is the type of strategy most teams should be doing. If they play like this, if they play like a team and they actually work together, they're going to be good.
I completely agree. Southeast is making a passing play right there to the receiver, and that is a first down for Southeast right there. Just love to see it. That's
We
all
love
I
to
can
see
say.
it. And honestly, like I mentioned earlier, they're just trying to gain yards passively because they understand, and like I mentioned earlier, they understand that Aubrey Rogers has a little bit of flaws. First down, too. And then and Southeast understands that they have flaws, and they're going to not only abuse that in the sense of this game, but they're going to take that to their advantage. And as you can see, they're timing out, and they're going to try to change their strategy here. Because now that they have ball in their, now the ball's in their court, they're going to do something here.
They are. I mean, the first half of the game is only 6 minutes away from its conclusion, and the score is currently 13-0, Southeast in favor. It's been a very good game so far, I will say. I have greatly enjoyed watching it. What do you say?
Honestly, this has been a very, compared to the other games that we have seen afar from DeSoto County and Braden River, I've really seen that they've been playing not only really well, but they've been playing consistently. They've been playing as if they were disciplined. Being disciplined and being consistent is very important if you want to win games like these, and if you want to be number 9 in the state, or actually maybe even number 8 in the state.
Yeah, let's see how this next play goes. Southeast is making a passing play. Very long pass, and that is an incomplete pass for Southeast, bringing it to 2nd and 10 for Southeast right there.
It was really close. For a second, I really thought that Southeast was going to get a really huge yard pass there. Don't you agree, David?
I agree. If they would have caught that ball, that would have been spectacular. But unfortunately, that was a very good play, I will say, by Aubrey Rogers' defense.
Honestly, really good. Honestly, really good for Aubrey Rogers on that one.
Let's see, and this is another running play for Southeast. Trucking right through there, I will say, with a gain of 6 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
And honestly, with Southeast, from what the perspective of a football player, and I don't think they get to see this type of perspective, it seems like Aubrey Rogers is focusing in the center of the ball, and normally with most football teams you do. But in this case, they're focusing too much, and they're not evenly distributed. So I want to see what they're going to do here.
Yes, let's see how this next play goes. Southeast is attempting to make another.
Oh!
And that is a first down for Southeast right there.
Good complete pass for number 0, Jaden Fields.
Complete to
You just love to see it.
Honestly, you love to see it. Not even just that either. They're just getting passive yards. They're not necessarily focused on getting a full touchdown here. They're focused on getting just the basics. They're just trying to get the small yards, and they're just getting a couple yards, and they're just keeping going.
And that is a running play by Southeast right there. I think only 1 yard to the end zone, bringing us to 2nd and 1 right there. That was a very, very good play by Southeast. You just love to see it.
Honestly, I can't agree with you more. Just with Southeast right now, and like I mentioned earlier, they're just trying to get those passive yards. They're just trying to get just those basic, small, moving steps forward, because all they got to do is get one more touchdown, and it's already 18-0 for them, and that's really good for a halftime.
Let's see how this goes. Another passing play by Southeast. And that right there is a touchdown for Southeast. Another one, bringing it to 3 touchdowns for Southeast. You just love to see it. Honestly, you just love to see it.
Literally had me almost hitting my high notes because of how surprised I am. Wow. Now it's 19-0, and because of this, we can make this 20-0 if they make it through the field goal.
Right there.
And their third
You just love to see it. I mean, it's just, I love it when a team has these just plays that just come from nowhere. You just make a play from nowhere.
It gives like the spice. It gives it like the seasoning, the flavor. Whenever you're eating a food, it gives it like the genuine like creativity of everything. It gives it the elements that it needs to be unique.
I completely agree. Let's see.
And it's good.
That is a successful conversion by Southeast, bringing the score 20-0. Southeast in favor. You just love to see it, honestly.
Honestly, not only do you love to see it too, but literally Southeast is absolutely demolishing Aubrey Rogers here. They're going in, and like I mentioned earlier, they're just focusing on getting those passive yards and see how it paid off. Now the game is 20-0, and we're about to go into halftime with the game completely being in Southeast's favor because of them just trying to get yards. And now that Southeast has the perspective of blocking the ball, they're going to play defensively. And from how they've been playing all year long, we all know how this is going to go. So they're just going to play defensively strong, and they're just going to play well in terms of their defense. Right, David?
I completely agree. Let's see how this possession by Aubrey Rogers is going to go. I'm very interested to see if they've learned anything about Southeast's defense and how they could apply that.
100%. And I'm curious to see what Aubrey Rogers is going to do, because now, if I'm not mistaken, this is the 4th time that they've had the ball. Right, David?
I'm pretty sure, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And I think if Aubrey Rogers like genuinely focuses and, I don't want to say lock in, but they really lock in and start getting the ball closer to them and actually holding on, they're going to be good.
And Aubrey Rogers now has the ball, running it to just about the 34-yard line, I believe.
And honestly here, now that Southeast has them in more of like the right side, which is to Aubrey Rogers' field goal, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to just defend them. And as long as they make Aubrey Rogers stagger, meaning they make those fouls, they make those plays where it causes them to move back yards, or just generally they make Aubrey Rogers mess things up. If they cause destruction in their team in terms of their strategy, they're going to have a really hard time trying to recover and get back up.
I agree. Let's see how this next play by Aubrey Rogers goes. It's going to be very interesting. And it is a running play with a gain of 0 yards, bringing Aubrey Roberts to 2nd and 10.
Right. And just like I said earlier, with Southeast's defense, their defense is almost, not even almost, but it's literally unpenetrable. They have a strong defense because their people are all distributed evenly. They know who has the ball, and they know when they don't have the ball, and they know what to do when they're all running at a rapid pace, and they know how to stop them.
I completely agree with everything you said so far. You have a good way with words. Let's see how this next play goes. Appears to be a passing play right there. Ooh, and that you just can't beat that Southeast defense right there. That was great play by Southeast defense with a gain of very few yards for Aubrey Rogers.
Honestly, and from what I'm seeing here too, Southeast is just overall trying to make Brandon Rogers or AR, excuse me. If I ever forget the name, I'm going to just say AR. But basically, they're just overall making the opposite team just stagger and just make mistakes, which is exactly what we're trying to aim for.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play goes. And they attempt to be running the ball. And that is a loss of about 5 yards, I believe.
He was wrapped up there behind the line of scrimmage by 2 Seminoles.
Yeah, honestly, with Aubrey Rogers here, it's just really just Southeast is just making Aubrey Rogers just not, I don't want to say stutter, but they're just staggering Aubrey Rogers really hard right now. So I think if they hard stuck Aubrey Rogers at a pace where it's difficult to recover, Southeast is going to be able to make Aubrey Rogers have this position of where, okay, do I sub in some other players that haven't played at all and maybe win the game, or do I keep playing the strategy that is not working but approach it a different way, which probably won't work? Southeast is really, I don't want to say they're making Aubrey Rogers question relatively what they're doing, but they're really making Aubrey Rogers critically think about what they're doing in the sense of their strategy and in their plays, of course. Excuse me.
Let's see how this next play goes by Aubrey Rogers. Let's see. Let's see how this goes.
See what cards they're going to play this time.
And they are kicking the ball to Southeast with Southeast now. Ooh. I think there's a flag on the play if I'm not mistaken.
Let's see what the flag is for. I wonder who it's on.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah, let's see if we get anything. And honestly, coming from what Southeast is doing, Southeast is not only just making Aubrey Rogers stagger, but they're making Aubrey Rogers just make mistakes in the sense of what they're originally supposed to do. Southeast is shaping their plays in their favor, and they're making Aubrey Rogers just shift their plays like last second, which is what's making them I don't want to say play so bad, but which is what it's making them play weird calls, like throwing the ball to the field or suddenly stopping in a position for a second and then actually losing yards.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play by Southeast goes. I am very excited to see this one. And it is sack right there with the gain of 0 yards, I believe, bringing us to 2nd and 10. Apparently my expectations are wrong. I think the play's going to be good, and it ain't. I think the play's going to be bad, and it's amazing. You just never know.
100%. Honestly, now that Southeast is having this good defense, Southeast plans to waste the downs that Aubrey Rogers has, making, and like I mentioned earlier, just making Aubrey Rogers just stutter and stagger their plays and make them have unusual calls, which is the goal here.
Yes. And it appears to be that is a
yes.
sack.
Oh, yep, nope, that's a touchdown.
Oh,
He's
wait,
golden.
that
He's
is
golden.
a touchdown for Southeast right there. Fooling Aubrey Rogers, fooling me, which ain't too hard to do, but touchdown right there for Southeast.
Wow,
that
number
was
0.
Near perfection right there. You just,
wow.
You just love to see it.
Honestly, Jaden Fields was the one who made the touchdown. He's a senior who is 6'1", and he's 205. He's doing really, really good. And not only did he set Southeast at a really high bar here, but it's going to be really hard for Aubrey Rogers to get themselves back up, considering that now it's a 26-point lead. And honestly, I think if Southeast plays like this, they could maybe force a mercy rule.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. A 1-point conversion attempt by Southeast. Let's see how it plays out. And that is a failed conversion attempt by Southeast, bringing the score 26-0. Southeast in favor.
Honestly, and I really realistically think that even if Southeast did get the conversion, I feel like in a sense it wouldn't have mattered too much because of the fact that we already have so many. First of all, we have so many points on Aubrey Rogers to an extent where it's already hard enough to get those 3 touchdowns. But also because Southeast is already staggering and making Aubrey Rogers pressured to where it's almost impossible for them to do anything in the sense of playing against them.
100%. Let's see how this next play goes. It appears that Southeast is kicking the ball to Aubrey Rogers. Let's see how this possession by Aubrey Rogers will go. Let's see. And the ball is in the air, and Aubrey Rogers now has possession. Let's see how far they can go, and stopped just before the 30-yard line.
Wow. Yeah, Southeast is really, because something I'm really seeing that Southeast is doing right now, Southeast is really having like this rinse and repeat type of method. I say this because Southeast has, whenever they don't have the ball, they go all in on defense. They make sure that they do not move an inch or even a hair. And when they have the ball, it's all hands on deck and they go crazy. And like they play crazy highlighting game plays that give you D1 offers and just generally things that you would not see typically in a football game.
Let's see how this goes. right here, and they are attempting to run the ball right there. Actually, good yardage right there by Aubrey Rogers, bringing them to 2nd and 5, I believe.
And really good sportsmanship right there, honestly, if you were able to see it. And honestly, from what Southeast's perspective, I really think the reason why they're doing good, it's not just because of their defense. It's not because of their overall team players. I think it's because they know the team's weaknesses.
Aubrey Rogers is attempting to run the ball, and that is a gain of 0 yards right there.
And honestly, I think because Southeast in the past hasn't really had a well-running season compared to this year, they've analyzed how each team plays. So, for example, they've analyzed, like with Britain River, they analyzed how their offense and defense played, and they adapted accordingly. Or with Aubrey Rogers, they looked at it, and they looked at their plays, and they were like, okay, we can go like this, or we can play this play, which causes them to not have a good defense but good offense for us. And because of them doing these things, now they're able to have this constant pressure.
And Aubrey Rogers is attempting to make a passing play. And that is an incomplete pass right there with only 44 seconds left in the first half of this game.
Honestly, and I really want to say really quickly, guys, thank you very much for tuning into the stream so far. If you guys are enjoying this football game and enjoying our commentary, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really helps out our channel a lot, and it really gets the games out a lot more.
Yeah, I completely agree. Thank you all very much for watching. It means the world to both of us.
Alrighty, and just with Southeast too, back to my point, they see their each team's weaknesses, and they pretty much abuse their weaknesses a little bit, and they just take advantage of them, and they use it to their abilities pretty much.
And Aubrey Rogers is kicking the ball to Southeast, and Southeast now has possession.
And honestly, with Southeast too, something I really noticed is that with certain teams, they really do their homework on how they play, and they really analyze their past games. I think that's why Southeast is doing really good, and why they're probably going to be number 8 in the state, moving up one spot. And honestly, because they understand their own strengths and weaknesses, they use them and utilize them to their advantages and weaknesses. So regardless, maybe if they don't have this is just me saying stuff like good mobility, for example, they use their mobility to their advantage, and they're like, okay, let's use our mobility with our strength, let's incorporate our weaknesses and use them with our strengths.
I completely agree. And let's see how this next play goes by Southeast. And there is a flag on the play. I'd assume a false start.
Or maybe just, yeah, honestly, I can't really think of any other flag that could probably be caused. It's probably just like a false start on maybe Aubrey Rogers.
That is a false start on Southeast.
Oh.
5 whole yards. That is not something.
And especially because now we're getting towards halftime, and if Aubrey Rogers, wants to win, they're gonna have to really think about how they performed and really how they're gonna do better.
I completely agree. Let's see, it is a passing play by Southeast, and they are running right there, and they are down. I personally believe Southeast is just going to attempt to run down the clock, as they do have possession in the second half.
Yeah, and honestly, there's no point of even really getting another touchdown, because they have a 26, consider this, they have a 26-point lead advantage. They have Aubrey Rogers in a completely staggered position, and they can't do anything.
It's another passing play by Southeast. And that is a complete pass with 6 whole seconds left on the clock.
And honestly, I really think with Southeast, I think how they could probably, I don't want to say do better because there's nothing wrong that they're doing, but I think how they could get more points is the right word. How they can get more points in the next half of the game is really messing with Aubrey Rogers because they're too focused on playing with the ball more, and they're too focused on the ball. So, like, how they did when they got their third touchdown, I think that they could do more approaches like that.
And this is a running play by Southeast with them being down. And that concludes the first half of the game. We are now going into halftime, so get up, get a snack, and we'll be back.
Honestly, we'll be back. Thank you guys very much for tuning in for that first half of the show, and please enjoy our Southeast Band Seminoles.
Tonight's senior night, an incredible experience for those seniors. We appreciate them and are so happy to have them as Seminoles. Ladies and gentlemen, could you please have your attention and look to the 50-yard line for a very special presentation. Southeast High School would like to thank two special individuals for their dedication to the health and well-being of our athletes. Don Tehan, a retired physical therapist and athletic trainer from Blake Hospital Therapy Department, has given 18 years of service to the Southeast sidelines. And Dr. Steve Schaefer, an orthopedic surgeon with Coastal Orthopedics, has given over 25 years of service to Southeast. Not to mention sponsoring every school in our district and providing well-being for all the student athletes and their injuries. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your time, energy, and friendship to Southeast High School.
Ladies and gentlemen, taking the field of the Southeast High School. Hey, give me that. Hi, my name is Stuart Griffin, and I'm taking over this halftime show tonight. Taking the field of a Southeast High School marching nose, under the director of bands Joseph McFarland, assisted by Jakaya Nelson, Brendan Guire, Sharon Garcia de Leon, Erin Garcia de Leon, and Celeste Matthews. Your 2025 drum majors are Freddie Candelario and Hamilton Gonzalez Briceño. Band captain Noah Malave McLyman. Woodwind captain Melissa Flores Martinez. Brass captain Jonathan Aguirre. Drumline captains Rich Neese Polycape and Sinai Young. Nolet's captain Gabriella Kellerman. Tonight, the Southeast Marching Nose will be performing their 2025 halftime show entitled Days in Color, based on the writings of Dr. Seuss and the music of Michael Giacchino, Billie Eilish, and Irving Berlin. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Southeast Marching Nose.
Some days are yellow. Some days are yellow.
Some are blue.
On different days, I'm different too.
Drum Major Freddie Candelario, is your band ready? On with the show then.
Some days are yellow.
Some are blue.
On different days, I'm different too. I change on different colored days.
Bright red days, how good it feels to be a horse and kick my heels.
On other days, on other things. On bright blue days, I flap my wings.
Then comes a yellow day, and wait! I am a busy, fuzzy bee.
On purple days, I'm sad. I've grown. I drag my tail. I walk alone.
Gray day. Everything is gray. I watch, but nothing moves today.
comes a mix-up there, and wham! I don't know who or what I am.
All turns out alright, you see? And I go back to being
Me.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, your Southeast Marching Knolls!
Where's John? Right there. Right there, John. Where? John, right there. Where? Right there. Where? Put him out. To the left, right there. Hi, John. Where's John? No, there's John. Oh, no.
We will begin the second half of action with the Patriots from Aubrey Rogers kicking off to the Seminoles.
Welcome back. I am your commentator, David Morgan.
And I'm Xavier Asensio, and we're back with this fantastic duel for the second half of the game. So, David, how do you anticipate that the game is going to go? Do you think Southeast is going to continue to steamroll and just get the game in the bag and get it over with, or do you think Aubrey Rogers is still going to have a shot of winning?
I'm not sure. I do believe Southeast is definitely going to win. I'm just not sure by how much.
Right. And honestly, because like I mentioned earlier in the first half of the game, they've been having this consistent pressure on Southeast so well. It's not on Southeast, excuse me, but Aubrey Rogers so well. It's to a point where Aubrey Rogers is in the situation of where should we change our entire team players or should we change our strategy and change something different about how we play? It's generally making Aubrey Rogers just question just their overall initial plays, if that makes sense.
That would be the question. Let's see how this next play goes. Southeast does have possession in the second quarter. Let's see how this possession for Southeast goes.
And honestly, I'm really curious to see how Southeast is going to have their defense going. I wonder if they're going to change anything else about their defense or improve it or just really just do anything different at all against Aubrey Rogers.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see how this goes going into the third quarter of this football game. Usually, in my opinion, the third quarter is usually the best and most exciting quarter. What do you think?
Yeah, honestly, because mostly in the third quarter, that's where that halftime magic happens. It's like anything can happen, not only, but it generally gives the given teams like that wake-up call they need of like, you need to start focusing and really get those touchdowns. Or for the other team, you go in there and you keep pressuring and you're doing great. It's like it's like a benchmark, if that makes sense. It's like an initiative.
Yes, and Southeast now has possession of the ball. Let's see how this possession goes. They're currently on the 20-yard line.
I'm really curious to see how their offense is going to be for Southeast here, because I know that we all know that their defense is really good, but I'm really wondering if their offense is going to be on par with their defense.
Yeah, let's see. And Southeast is doing a running play right there.
Ooh.
All the way, bringing them to 2nd and 1, I believe.
And honestly, from what I'm seeing here, it seems like Southeast might have this approach of playing more like tricky and try to mess with Aubrey Rogers, if that makes sense. Especially with how they did in the third touchdown that they got. I really think that they could make something happen, like have like that, like magic, literally.
Yeah, and another running play by Southeast. And that is the first down for Southeast. First down of the second half.
That's really good for Southeast, because now Southeast not only continues to legitimately have this pressure on Aubrey Rogers, but literally Aubrey Rogers cannot do anything against Southeast if they don't change how they play, because it seems like the way that they've been approaching Southeast, it's not doing any favor for them. So let's see how this goes, David.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. And it seems to be a passing play right there. And that is an incomplete pass for Southeast, bringing us to second and
double cover.
I see the vision of Southeast throwing the ball, and I really think it would have worked if he ran a little bit faster. There was nothing wrong, in my opinion at least, there was nothing wrong with the play. He just wasn't fast enough to get the ball. And I really think if he did catch the ball, I think he would have still had it, and they would have gotten that significantly yard increase.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. This next play by Southeast. And it is a running play attempting to trick Aubrey Rogers, but it is unsuccessful with a gain of only 2 yards.
Right. Let's just see how Southeast is really going to play here, because I'm not necessarily more curious on how they're going to do this, because I've seen quite a lot of skill from Southeast football team respectively, but I'm curious to see exactly what else they have in the books and see if they have any more tricks up their sleeve or if they're just refining new things.
Let's see how it goes. And Southeast is running the ball with their quarterback, and that is a first down for Southeast, almost across the entire field to the 40-yard line. And gosh, that was just one great play. There are quarterback number 3, Liam Fernandez, just straight out there.
And honestly, Hernandez, something I noticed too with number 3, Fernandez, he used one of the big guys as shield because he noticed that 2 different people were coming at him, and he literally threw one of their bigger guys at Aubrey Rogers. So because of this, he literally got those large increasing yards, which is exactly what Southeast needs if they want to get these good touchdowns and maybe even force a mercy rule.
And that is a gain of what looks like to be 4 yards by
Jackson
Southeast.
up the middle for a gain of 8.
Gain of 8 yards. And let's see how this next play goes. And it's a passing play by Southeast. And that is a first down for Southeast, bringing us to 1st and goal, if I'm not mistaken, on the 10-yard line. That is just a great play right there. No other words to describe it.
I can't really describe it any better, honestly, because with Aubrey Rogers, it's really getting really good with Southeast's defense. And honestly, they're overall, like, I can't even fit any words to see what Aubrey Rogers could do against Southeast.
Yeah, let's see how this goes. Let's see how let's see how this next play by Southeast goes.
And Aubrey Rogers, one thing I want to add on, Aubrey Rogers is well aware that if they don't defend this touchdown or at least make an attempt, Southeast is going to lead by a drastic 32-point lead guaranteed if they make the touchdown. So let's see what Aubrey Rogers is going to do here.
Well, let's see it. And this is a running play by Southeast with a gain of only 1 yard, it looks,
Jackson
from this angle.
And honestly, I think a really good way that Southeast could actually get past Aubrey Rogers' defense is really just because, like I said before, Aubrey Rogers' defense isn't as good compared to Southeast, and they're too focused on the ball. And earlier in the first half, they really abused that, and they essentially milked that and got a bunch of points out of that. So I'm thinking Southeast could take advantage of Aubrey Rogers' flaws and use Southeast's strengths to their advantage and give them the easy 6-point lead.
Yeah, let's see how this next play goes. Will Southeast prevail or will Aubrey Rogers' defense win? And it is a running play by Southeast straight through there. And that is another touchdown for Southeast. Beautiful play right there, just right on through that defense and into that glorious blue end zone.
Honestly, I can't agree with you better, David. He literally slid in there with style. Like, I kid you not, if you've seen the replay for the touchdown, he came in on the home field, slid right in, and just came in with fashion.
Yeah. Let's see how this conversion attempt goes.
Let's see if we can get an extra point or two.
I think there's an extra player on the field. And that is a successful 2-point conversion right there. Yeah, let's see. Southeast is now kicking the ball to Aubrey Rogers. Let's see how this Aubrey Rogers possession will go. I am waiting with open eyes and open ears. Maybe a false start, sir. And Southeast is kicking the ball. Ball is now in the air. And Aubrey Rogers has possession of the ball. Now let's see how far they can go. Not very far, apparently. Only to the 25-yard line. That was a great play by our Southeast defense, if I do say so myself.
Honestly, David, I actually just noticed something with Southeast's defense. It took me a second to really analyze this. I'm noticing that they're using Powell Jr.'s speed to their max, because Powell, as we've seen Powell Jr., from the other games, he is really, really fast. Wouldn't you agree, David?
I agree. I just noticed that as well. Never really pieced it together, but I completely agree with what you're saying.
Right.
And Aubrey Rogers is attempting to run the ball with a gain of 1 yard, I believe.
And honestly, with Southeast, they're using Powell Jr.'s speed because since he's so fast, he can create a large amount of space, which is what you need, and you can force pushes in this game. Football is a completely strategy-based game. You have to utilize your players' strengths and weaknesses and create it into one large team, which is why Southeast is so strong in their defense compared to Aubrey Rogers itself.
I completely agree. I mean, Southeast strong is the saying, after all.
You fear the spear.
And Aubrey Rogers is attempting to run the ball again. Ooh, a gain of about 5 yards right there, I believe.
And something that I'm really seeing here, I think the reason why Southeast might sometimes entertain Aubrey Rogers' bad plays is because they want to pressure the quarterback. Because Aubrey Rogers severely relies on their rusher to oppose the quarterback. So what I'm trying to say here is that they're trying to pressure the quarterback because they know that their quarterback has absolutely no defense. So they could literally go in there and their quarterback is wide open, respectively. Yeah. So because of these reasons, they could go in there and they can just tackle them all the way through like it's nothing.
Yeah, let's see how all of this shakes out, I guess. What is your predicted score for the end of the game?
I really think, honestly, if Southeast keeps playing like this, I think it's going to be 42 to 48 and 0. What do you think, David?
I agree. That is a very likely possibility. It's definitely I'd personally say likely 41-7 is my personal prediction for the final score, but that's just me.
Honestly, I think that's a fairly accurate score, if I'm going to be honest. If that could happen, it could not happen, who knows? But it's a good prediction, all I could say.
Let me just get my time machine and check.
And something I really want to point out is with Southeast is that they're limiting huge plays. So the earlier in the other games, like with Braden River and with DeSoto County, Southeast really plays carefully whenever they have big plays. Whenever they do it, whenever they risk it for the biscuit, they do not do it every single time. They consider the odds. They analyze, okay, if I were to do this, they think about the worst possible outcome could happen, and they think, if this happens, then how can we prevent that from stopping? So if they do that, they can utilize the big plays to their advantage and get not only passive yards, but get easy touchdowns at a severe rate.
Let's see how this possession by Aubrey Rogers goes. They are attempting to run the ball, and that is a first down for Aubrey Rogers.
And honestly, with Aubrey Rogers, that just proves my point again, that they don't have a strong defense together. Like, they're too focused on just one person holding the ball rather than having that team composition and competition that you need in order to actually play the game of football and actually really get a strategical advantage on your opposing team or your opponent, excuse me.
I agree. Very interested to see how this next play is going to shake out. It appears to be an attempted passing play by Aubrey Rogers, having a lot of trouble finding someone, and the ball is in the air. And that is an incomplete pass, if I'm not mistaken.
By number 21. He almost caught it. He almost caught it, but
He was close.
Just close.
Unfortunately, even if he had caught it, from my angle, he was out of bounds, so it could have still resulted.
And actually something that I'm seeing here with Aubrey Rogers, Hudson King, who is a sophomore and is a wide receiver, he's really young for being in the varsity football league, excuse me. He's a dynamic receiver, his hands are good, and his speed is very strong for his age. I really think if Aubrey Rogers utilizes him, but they haven't, I think that they could have a shot of winning. Who knows?
I completely agree. Appears to be a running play by Aubrey Rogers. An unsuccessful one for them, unfortunately. And that is about a gain of 1 yard, bringing them to 3rd and 9, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, 100%, David. And honestly, from what I'm seeing here, now that the game's almost, not coming to an end almost, but now that we've got about 6 minutes left on the clock, Aubrey Rogers does not have that good defense that they need. They're too focused on something we call in football attacking. They're too focused on just trying to go in, get the easy points, and just try to cause some chaos. But in the end, it actually coils right back at them. That's something that they need to catch on and actually change before it damages them.
I completely agree. They are attempting to run the ball again, and that is another gain of 1 yard, bringing them to 4th and 8, if I'm not mistaken.
Right, and just generally speaking too, with Southeast, I do not know if I'm pronouncing this. So again, correct me if I'm wrong, but Marin Lau, who is a senior and is a edge runner, he has a very good defense, and it's a part of the reason why Southeast has a strong defense, and he can disrupt any backfields, and he pressures the quarterback. So I really think if they use Mr. Lau, and correct me if I'm wrong when I'm saying this, but they could use him and they could pressure the quarterback and really like snap. I'm not gonna say that, but you get the point.
And they are attempting to pass the ball. However, that is an interception by Southeast. Guess that, however, worked out with Southeast intercepting that pass from Aubrey Rogers and now having possession.
And this once again, this just proves my point that Aubrey Rogers just does not have the speed and enough good players to really combat or even put on par with Southeast, especially with Powell Jr., who's literally a junior as a wide receiver. He's just dynamic in everything, and he's super fast. And they don't have anyone on their team that Aubrey Rogers could benefit from. So because of this, they're really stuck in this position of just having to change their players so much to where they're, I don't want to say wasting their timeouts, but they're using their timeouts more often than more. And they're just more or less not having a strong safety for the quarterback. And just not even just a quarterback, but just for their team in general.
I completely agree. Seems as if the referees are currently engaged in deep conversation.
Right.
Sure wonder what they're talking about.
I'm wondering what they're talking about. And honestly, with Aubrey Rogers, their quarterback is a freshman who's number 12. And something that I'm really noticing here is that compared to our quarterbacks and our other players, they've got more experience. And I'm not one to say on experience or anything, but because their quarterback is a freshman for Aubrey Rogers respectively, Southeast is going to have an easier time because the freshman doesn't have as much experience, if that makes sense.
Freshman quarterback, you don't see those every day.
Yeah, you don't.
And attempted running play with a gain of about 6 yards.
Johnson is
right.
5'6".
And coming back to the game here, I'm starting to see that Southeast is once again, they're sticking to those strategies that I mentioned before, and they really are just going in and they are making sure that Aubrey Rogers does not have a shot of budging or making it through.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play goes, and it is a running play by Southeast. And that is a first down for Southeast. Right there, another Southeast first down.
And honestly, with Southeast here, I really think that Southeast is, once again, they're not trying to get the big plays. They're only caring about if you get the first downs, the second downs, the third downs, or even resetting the fourth downs back to the first downs. They're really focused on just trying to slowly move the bar up to where it's now safe to go in and play those big plays how Aubrey Rogers was doing later on, or not later on, but earlier in the game.
A passing play by Southeast. Ooh, and that is an incomplete pass by Southeast. Imagine if he had caught that straight into the end zone.
That would be that. I'm not joking with you. That would be the highlight of the game.
Possibly. It very well could have.
But it is what it is. It's all right. They still got a couple more. They still got a couple more shots to get this.
I completely agree. Let's see how this goes.
Honestly,
I predict a running play on this next play.
I really think that Southeast, because with Southeast having a big play like this, I don't think that Southeast is going to do that again. I think that they're probably going to do something else like that, but I don't think they'll play like that.
And that is a running play by Southeast with a gain of 1 yard, I believe, bringing us to 3rd and 1.
And yeah, just like I always like to say before with Aubrey Rogers just needs to change their entire composition. Basically, they need to get different teammates and need to get different team players, along with just changing their approach to Southeast, because with how they're playing, especially if they want to try to win this in the end of the third quarter, they got to really take a different perspective on this with the false start.
Ooh, that is a false start on Aubrey Rogers. Definitely not something you want to do, and very beneficial to Southeast.
Offside
makes it much more easier
Offsides,
on Southeast.
in favor of your Southeast Seminoles.
Makes it much more easier for Southeast to do their job on defending the ball, or actually even getting it through.
4 yards to go.
Let's see how this next play goes. They have a very good chance of another Seminole first down right here. And it is an attempted passing play, running with the quarterback, and
And his pass attempt being harassed there by number 22.
Still waiting for a incomplete pass right there.
Ooh, that's not
you
good
hate
for
to
Southeast.
see it.
Yeah, you do
folks.
hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Although Southeast is still winning by 34 points, you just still hate to see it.
You hate to see it. I mean, I don't know. Let's just see how this goes.
Honestly, let's just see what happens with Southeast, because I'm curious, because now that they realize that, okay, we should maybe play too big, or we should just go back to passively earning just yards. Let's be earning just yards. Let's not focus on just getting everything at once.
Let's see it. Another passing play by Southeast, and that is another incomplete pass. We really need to focus on these running plays. These passing plays, as of late, do not appear to be working out for us.
Yeah, 100%. And it seems like they're going to not time out, but it seems like they're just going to reset a little bit. And I really think with this reset, I think Southeast could take a different approach here, because from what I'm seeing, Southeast is trying to get passive yards too fast. They're trying to do too many things at once. Instead, they should probably focus on just taking things one step at a time. And I'm not to say that I'm a football expert and that I have 30 years in the NFL, but I think that would probably be the right approach for Southeast at least. Wouldn't you agree, David?
I completely agree. Aubrey Rogers now has possession, and they are running with the quarterback. And that is an Aubrey Rogers first down. A big first down, if I do say so myself, right out there. Getting through that Southeast defense, I sure wonder what changed, because that's very dissimilar to the events prior in this game.
Honestly, I can't even agree with you more, David, because Aubrey Rogers earlier had a really hard time with even dealing with a part of Southeast because of our defense. And now I think that Aubrey Rogers has seen what Southeast is capable of. I think they're starting to see some of the flaws in Southeast itself.
And Aubrey Rogers is running the ball again with a gain of 6 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. And just once again, I think with Aubrey Rogers, I think they're slowly, because in the very beginning of the first quarter, they were risky with their plays, and they made relatively unusual plays that you could argue. But now I think they're going back to that approach a little bit, but it's just not as hostile. They're not like chucking the ball half the court. They're just trying to take things one step at a time. They're just trying to copy what Southeast is doing.
Let's see how this goes. Another running play by Aubrey Rogers. Very good work on Southeast defense. I do not think that was a gain of any yards for Aubrey Rogers. Very good defensive play.
Honestly, I think that might have been a decrease in yards. Was it, or was it just 0 yards?
I cannot tell from this angle, unfortunately.
Yeah, me either. But yeah, just generally, like I said before, Aubrey Rogers is not. They're a little bit aggressive. They're starting to get aggressive with their plays, but they're not too aggressive because they've realized that, okay, maybe we shouldn't be aggressive, and they got punished for that severely, and they're going to maybe try to come out with, okay, we should be aggressive, but we should be controllative of how we play.
Now let's see how this goes. Aubrey Rogers is running with the quarterback, and I think that is a first down for Aubrey Rogers.
Wow.
They are very close to that end zone. I could see Aubrey Rogers getting a touchdown with this possession.
And honestly, I think maybe they could push it into the third quarter and get a touchdown, considering we've only got about 50 seconds left on the clock. And I really think if Aubrey Rogers, because I don't want to pick sides here, but I really think if Southeast does their defense a little bit better and they really pay attention to what they're doing early on, I think that they could stop them.
I completely agree. And that is a touchdown.
That is number 0, Liam Neary, carrying the ball.
All right, so for the first time in the game, Aubrey Rogers gets a touchdown, making the score 34-6.
That it is. Very good touchdown by Aubrey Rogers. Getting through that Southeast defense definitely was well earned with how hard they had to work for that one.
Honestly, and I really think that with Southeast, I think Southeast is going to start to adapt accordingly as well, but I really think that when we analyze Southeast's composition against Aubrey Rogers' team, I really think that Southeast's defense could really increase, because now that they've got a touchdown, Southeast realized that, okay, they see through our little game, they see through our little tactics, so now we can start to take them a little seriously and actually go all in on them and actually start using our legitimate plans we've had originally.
And that is a successful conversion for Aubrey Rogers with only 32.6 seconds left on the clock for the third quarter. How do you predict the fourth quarter going?
I really think that the fourth quarter is going to really play in the sense of Southeast's favor being in the play, but I also really think that Southeast is really going to still hold that 34-point lead advantage and still come out on top with the win, regardless if Aubrey Rogers somehow gets another touchdown if possible.
Yep, and Aubrey Rogers is now currently kicking the ball to Southeast. Let's see how this goes. Very interested to see this Southeast possession. Ball is now officially in the air. And Southeast now is running with it, and all the way to the 30-yard line, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like there's, all right. I thought something was happening. All right, so overall, I think with Southeast, I really think a good way, if I had to describe Southeast's team, football team, varsity specifically, in one word, I would say wild. I say wild because they're a jack of all trades in the sense of having that defense, having that attack aggression, meaning they're aggressive of getting the ball towards the end goal line, and just overall, they are very careful and they are strategic players. So they understand the game, and they're not just all brute and strength and just trying to chuck the ball 90 yards and just get touchdown. It's like, woohoo, let's go.
And Southeast is running the ball right there with a gain of
ball carrier
4 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Johnson crosses the
All right, it seems like that actually might be the end of the third quarter, moving us into the final score of the night. with a current point lead of 34 with Knowles and Aubrey Rogers with 7.
So with this time that we have between quarters, I have a personal question for you. Let's say you're watching football. What do you wish to be eating while doing this?
Ooh, that's a good question. Honestly, if I'm eating any food, I want to eat anything that's going to make me full. So if I'm eating a food, it's probably going to be something like nachos with beans and with cheese on it, especially with the Parmesan cheese on the top. It's really good. Or just eating nice ribeye steak, just cutting it, cooked medium rare, and then you dip it into some nice barbecue sauce, or just eat it as it is. It tastes chef's kiss. It's the #1 thing. You guys should try it.
My personal favorite for football is actually Cuban sandwiches. The Cuban sandwich in football is really good. The another thing, the place that I personally go to watch football, Beef O'Brady's, they have this appetizer sampler that's really good that I usually get for.
Right. Yeah, and I remember testing their Cuban sandwiches one time because I go to the gym there, and right next to there is Beef O'Reilly's. I really like how they have this wing seasoning called Atomic. I tasted it one time last year. It was really good. It was super spicy, and I couldn't really taste it again, but it was really good just overall.
Southeast is making another running play, and that is another Southeast first down. You just love to see it. Honestly, you just love to see it.
Honestly, you love to see it. It's a Friday night. We're in the last quarter. Southeast has a 34-point lead. Aubrey Rogers has generally some idea of what they're supposed to do against Southeast, but they're still not able to do anything about it. And Southeast overall, as I mentioned in the very beginning of the game, they have that iron fist grasp on them, because if you have it, your 9 times out of 10 are going to win.
Yes, and Southeast is attempting to make a passing play with a gain of 5 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
To senior.
And honestly, I think with Southeast here, I think Southeast knows that, like, with their big plays, they're really utilizing it. They're restricting it. They're not, like, restricting it to where they don't do it at all, but they're restricting their large plays to where it's only appropriate. Like, if they're trying to get a boot against Aubrey Rogers, they're just trying to get a foot against them, but also trying to pressure them even more, along with the fact that Aubrey Rogers' quarterback is literally a freshman.
And another attempted run of the ball with only a gain of 2 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Very interesting to see.
Honestly, it's not even just interesting, David, but literally when we look at this, Southeast is not only adapting, like they are not only adapting, but
and that is an injury on the field by Southeast.
Ooh, that's not good. Yeah, you hate to see it, David. You just hate to see when that happens. It's terrible.
Yeah. No information has come out yet, but does not look good from this far away. You know, it's a part of the sport, but you do just hate to see it. You definitely want to keep injuries to a minimal.
Godspeed.
Especially with all these new uniforms they have, definitely reducing large injuries, but still just hate to see it.
Yeah, you just hate to see it. Just Godspeed to whoever got injured. And let's just wait to see like what information comes out.
Yeah, let's just
wait, and all we can do is just hope for the best.
Hopefully he will be okay and not have to go to the hospital or anything.
Right, I think because normally whenever you get injured, it's normally something minor, like maybe just like something gets stretched, or maybe just arm dislocated, and you can just like pop it back in place, then you're good to go.
Let's have a round of applause here.
All right, yep.
He is on his own 2 feet again and appears to be walking off of the field. Poor guy. That's all I have to say. Poor guy.
You have to be tough. I give my praise to those who have even the guts to play football like that, because football is a very dangerous sport. Like the injury is not only very risky, but it's very scary, because sometimes the injuries that you could get, I don't want to say they're catastrophic, but they're just scary to just have, just in general, even think about.
I completely agree. Goodness. Just ain't good. It just ain't good. There's no other way to put it.
It really isn't. Just hope nothing but the best and everything for the best. Just God bless. That's all I can do. Just God bless and amen.
Yeah.
All right, but now back to the game. We've got about 11 minutes or so, give or take, with Southeast 34-7 right now, with a actually 27-point lead so far. And if they can get another touchdown, which they probably will if they play their cards right, they could actually change that back to a 32-point lead.
That is, I completely agree with you. And penalty on Southeast. I'm assuming false start. I did not see the entire calling. That is not good. A lot of false start penalties throughout this game. I wonder what it is. Maybe just a few too many Red Bulls for some of our players.
Yeah. Honestly, it's a Friday night. I mean, this is the last regular game before playoffs, so I don't blame them. They want to make sure that they win, so why not go out trying?
And a passing play by Southeast. Ball is good, and that is a successful catch, and that right there is another Southeast touchdown. Wow. My personal highlight of the game so far. That was marvelous. Awe-inspiring.
I'm football. I'm shocked. I'm just, wow. Now they not only have it to 40-7, but now they got back the 32-point lead advantage, basically making it almost impossible for Aubrey Rogers. I had to really read that for a second. Aubrey Rogers, not Aubrey Rogers, to get that points back. And it's really nice to see that.
And let's see how this one-point conversion attempt goes for Southeast. Let's see. And that is an unsuccessful conversion attempt.
It hit from what our angles are looking at, because we are in the press box. It looks like it hit just the angle, so it just missed a little bit too much to the left.
Bringing the score currently 40-7, Southeast in favor with 10 minutes left on the play clock for the whole game.
Right, and honestly, because Southeast has followed this general strategy of just pressuring the Aubrey Rogers players, they just pressure them. All they do, they force staggers, they force plays, but most importantly, they make Aubrey Rogers just mess up decisions that make Southeast look better. And they just literally make Aubrey Rogers look bad because they're in a staggered position. And obviously, in football, especially in the fourth quarter, you do not, and I mean this with all sincerity, folks, you do not, and I say this with urgency, you do not want to be staggered like this with 10 minutes on the clock with a 32-point disadvantage.
Let's see how this Aubrey Rogers possession goes. Southeast is kicking the ball. Ball is in the air. Let's see how they can do with this possession. Down on roughly the 45-yard line right there. Very good way to just push through that defense for Aubrey Rogers.
Honestly, with Aubrey Rogers, generally speaking, they just need, like I said before, they not only need to change their... Oh, it seems like
another injury on the field? Ooh. This needs to stop happening.
Seems to be like on his...
He's on his 2 feet. Thankfully, does not look like as bad of an injury as a previous one, but you just hate to see it.
Yeah, I hate to see it. Just God bless. Literally, God bless. Amen. That's all I can say.
Yeah, that is not good.
Honestly. And yeah, back to the game now after that. Like with Aubrey Rogers, they just need to just change their team composition. And I really think having a quarterback as a freshman is really, it's not a bad thing to have. Because honestly, I like seeing underdogs. Everyone loves an underdog story. But you need someone that's experienced in that type of role, especially a quarterback. That's a very, very valuable role to have.
And it appears to be a running play by Aubrey Rogers. And not a very successful one by the looks of it. Never mind, it is a passing play. Ooh, and that is a first down for Aubrey Rogers. That was a great play right there, just running with the quarterback and then throwing that ball through the air into your receiver's hands. That was Very good play.
Honestly. And I don't want to say like I said earlier again, but just generally speaking, like Southeast has a good defense because they utilize Powell Jr.'s speed, they pressure the freshman quarterback, and they just overall limit their big plays by Hudson King. And they make Hudson King, because that is, if I'm not mistaken with Hudson King, that's their wide receiver. He's the sophomore. He's really good and he's fast. So if they pressure him, Southeast pretty much got it in the back.
And that is running with the quarterback for Aubrey Rogers, and I believe that is a first down or just sort of.
Honestly, just overall, Southeast is really utilizing the flaws within Aubrey Rogers, and just generally it's just really just packing a punch whenever they have offense or defense in general.
Let's see how this next play can go. Can Aubrey Rogers go through our Southeast defense, or can they not?
Second and
Let's
3 for the
see.
Patriots.
And Aubrey Rogers is making a running play, and that is a first down for Aubrey Rogers. What do you think about this?
Honestly, with Aubrey Rogers, I think they're starting to get back on their feet, and they're really starting to get that general defense. Like I said again, defense and offense go hand in hand. You have to be a jack of all trades in football. And I want to make a cross-reference here, kind of like with Marvel Rivals. You can't just one-string someone and expect to get to one above all. You have to know more than one guy, and you have to know how to play them individually to card carry. Same thing with football. You have to have a good team strategy in order to win.
And it is a passing play by Aubrey Rogers. And that is a gain of around 6 yards, if I'm not mistaken. Rather good play, good chunk of a first down by Aubrey Rogers. They've been doing very well. I've definitely seen them improve as the game has continued.
Honestly, I think there's Aubrey Rogers is starting to adapt really well with Southeast, and they're starting to adjust to Southeast's team composition.
And they are attempting to run the ball, and that is a first down for Aubrey Rogers.
Ryan Smith takes the
ball
over the left-hand side.
Outside of the end zone, if I'm not mistaken.
A gain of about 24
right
yards
on the end of that end zone for Aubrey Rogers. Very good play for them right there. Very good play.
Yeah, and honestly, it just seems like with Aubrey Rogers, it just paid off with having that good defense and having that consistent offense. And like I said earlier, with the analysis of Marvel Rivals and with football, you have to have a jack-of-all-trade knowledge in order to succeed. Aubrey Rogers just displayed that. They keep it up, they're doing good. The Southeast over here is going to have good defense, which can counter them. So let's see how they're going to show this.
And it looks like Aubrey Rogers is attempting to make a field goal here. And it is a successful field goal, but there is a flag on the play. Let's see what that is about.
Due to a false start.
Ooh, false start. That's not good.
Patriots, so that'll back up this attempt.
And that is a false start for Aubrey Rogers, meaning they will have to redo that play and be backed up slightly.
Kicking.
Right, and just generally speaking, with Aubrey Rogers, their team composition is starting to get better, and they're starting to learn how to take space. But I think with Southeast, they know that, so now they're going to take advantage of this, and they're going to pressure them.
And that is a successful field goal by Aubrey Rogers.
And
good for them.
It's actually no good because it bounced off the corner and it actually came out. So they get no points at all.
13 in favor
of that sucks.
Yeah. So no extra points there given. So now the game is leading with 40-13 with 8 minutes left on the clock.
That it is. It's getting very close to the end of this game. Only 8 minutes left. It's been a very enjoyable game, if I do say so myself. And Aubrey Rogers is now kicking the ball to Southeast.
Yeah, so I'm really curious to see how Southeast is actually going to do this now, because I believe this is the second time that they had the ball in the fourth quarter. So I'm really wondering on rather how they're going to approach this, to see if they're going to change their strategy, team composition, or they're just going to just do the same thing and try to get more points.
Let's see how this goes. And Aubrey Rogers kicks the ball. Ball is in the air. And Southeast has caught it. Let's see how far he can go with it. passing it to another player. Looks like he's going down around the 20-yard line. Definitely have seen much better plays from Southeast than that, but you can't complain when you have possession of the ball.
You can't complain, and honestly, with Southeast in general, they've had a really good, and I mean this with all my heart, they have a really, really, really good defense, and they have a really good offense. They're almost on par with each other. So I'm curious to see what they're going to do to adjust their team composition, because I'm aware that with Powell Jr., who is a junior and a wide receiver, or WR, he is really explosive and he's fast. So they might use him to try to get those passing yards more easier, along with just generally getting to the end goal faster.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play by Southeast goes. I'm predicting a running play, and I predicted right. They are running the ball. Very high resistance from the defense of Aubrey Rogers, and that is a gain of 0 yards, unfortunately.
Marvelous.
And honestly, with Southeast, I think utilizing Powell Jr.'s speed is 100% the right way. And I really think another way that they could probably do this is if they're going to use Powell Jr.'s speed and their big yard gaining capabilities, I think they could have a big guy, because with the earlier plays, Powell Jr. threw one of his teammates at 2 other people, which got him the touchdown.
And another running play by Southeast with a gain of roughly 4 yards, if I'm not mistaken, bringing us to
Armstrong kicks the ball
3rd
out
and
to the
5.
30.
Right. Honestly, I really think that with Southeast, in my opinion, I really think that Southeast could actually not. I think having the running plays is a good approach to this. However, I do think that they could use Powell Jr.'s speed along with having some good defense, like kind of playing group while force taking space, which could really help Southeast's end.
Yeah, let's see how this next play goes. And Southeast is running with the quarterback and throwing the ball. And that is an incomplete pass for Southeast.
Oh, yeah, you just hate to see it for Southeast. You really do. Wait, what? Hold on.
Seems some people are not pleased with what just happened. I think there might be.
Seems like they might actually challenge the play.
Yeah, I'd assume by holding by Aubrey Roberts.
We have a flag on the play that was.
Yeah, I think they are challenged. Yeah, I think they are.
Far sideline as it was thrown by the back judge.
Yep, they're challenging it, I think. Yeah, there was a flag.
Penalty will advance the ball across the necessary line.
Penalty has advanced the ball.
First down.
First down for Southeast. Wow. You really cannot be getting penalties like that on defense in those crucial moments.
Honestly, especially with the last 7 minutes left on the clock, really every single yard counts. And especially with Aubrey Rogers playing like that, it's really going to make Southeast get passive yards as they need.
I agree, and Southeast attempts to run the ball a second time with only a gain of 3 yards, if I'm not mistaken, bringing us to 2nd and 7th.
And yeah, just generally speaking with Aubrey Rogers, I really think a good reason why they might have caused that flag is because they wanted to try to, in a necessarily way, pressure and give Southeast a literal taste of their own medicine when they're trying to pressure them. So they're going to try to pressure them back.
I completely agree.
Armstrong takes the ball across the 45-yard line into the territory of the Aubrey Patriots. And that creates a first down, and we will have the final water break.
And that is a water break for Southeast right there.
All right.
What is your opinion on the performance of the Aubrey Rogers defense for today's game?
Honestly, I think with Aubrey Rogers defense, I really think that overall, they're starting to adapt to Southeast's customs, and I really think with Southeast, they're adapting too. So they're trying to match their level and go par on par with them, if that makes sense.
And we are lining back up for our next play with Southeast having possession. Very interested to see how this play will go and potentially another first down for Southeast.
All right, let's see what type of moves that they're going to pull off this time.
Now let's see. And it is another running play by Southeast, running straight into that crowd with a gain of 4 yards, if I'm not mistaken.
Honestly, with they've been playing a lot of running plays throughout, not just this game, but throughout a majority of the series. I think they're doing that because they're trying to utilize Hal Jr.'s speed, because he's fast and he can get through everyone relatively quickly. I really think if they want to really maximize his speed, they create an opening play, meaning they give some level of defense for him when he's running the ball. So in a shorter term, they could just run the ball with them pretty much in group.
I agree, and Southeast is attempting to run the ball again with a gain of 0 yards right there.
Armstrong again on the carry. Tackle there.
Right, and honestly, I really think that with Southeast, it's not just about, it's not necessarily just about their
Aubrey Rogers Patriots.
Ooh, I'm trying to really think here.
Armstrong might have picked up a yard there.
I have a thought. Give me a second.
And Southeast is making another passing play. However, it is an incomplete pass for Southeast.
Okay. I think with Aubrey Rogers, they predicted that they were going to do that. And because Aubrey Rogers, or the Patriots now, because the Patriots predicted that, they were able to go in and they were able to stop basically almost a full touchdown. So because of this, I really think just in general that they should keep utilizing that strategy.
And let's see how this next play by Southeast will shake out. Very interested in this next play. This next play can really make or break this possession for Southeast.
100%. I'm really curious to see what Southeast can do today.
And a passing play by Southeast. Ball is in the air.
Yep, it was complete.
And that is successful, bringing us to first and goal right on that 5-yard line. You just love to see it, man. That is what you want to see when you tune into SCTV out there.
100%, especially with the last 5 minutes on the clock. Southeast basically just secures the win, pretty much. And the Patriots can't do anything against their defense because Southeast has already paid off their hard work by defending like crazy and not letting them move any yards or give them any opportunity to do anything.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play from Southeast will go. I believe they could realistically make a touchdown in this next play right here.
Right, let's just see what they're going to do here.
It's going to be a running play. And it is a passing play and an incomplete pass on Southeast.
Yeah, that's not good for Southeast, especially by you losing those 2 points. It's not really that good per se. However, and even then, because they could still get a touchdown here, that's not good at all, because they could still get 46 to 47 points. No joke.
Yeah, let's see how this next play is going to shake out. See what's going to happen. And it is a running play by Southeast, just trying to push into that end zone.
They make it by
and that is another touchdown for the Southeast Seminoles, bringing the score 46 to 13. Southeast Seminoles winning.
Oh yeah, by the way, I wanted to say this earlier, but our scoreboard, not the scoreboard in the track field, but the scoreboard on the bottom, that was originally wrong because it read 13:43. It was actually 13:40 this entire time, so now it's correct. So let's see if they can get, and honestly, I really hope that Southeast gets the point increase from 46 to 47, like 6-7.
And seems that is an incomplete. I think that is an unsuccessful 2-point conversion attempt by Southeast.
But let's see if they can get the 1-point conversion to get the 46-point conversion to 47-point conversion.
The chat isn't voting. They know it's too bad to see that.
Honestly, something I really want to add on here, something like a little joke. Football is not just about the sport, it's about the food that they sell. It's the food that they sell. Don't you agree, David?
I agree. And Aubrey Rogers now has possession of the ball, running all the way to the
returning the kick there for the
35-yard line, if I'm not mistaken. Very good run by Aubrey Rogers.
100%. The Patriots are really doing decently well, especially now that they're starting to adapt and they got that rhythm. But unfortunately, it might not really do any good in terms of the point lead. They might not win the game, but they can take this as a lesson from Southeast. They can take some notes. They can learn things.
You know, this is really my happiest point. Sitting down in this chair, seeing orange all over that great green field. It's just something else, man.
100%. I got to agree with you on that, David. I'm just curious to see what these last 4 minutes of the game can really pull off here.
Aubrey Rogers is attempting to run the ball, and it's a gain of roughly 5, possibly 6 yards by Aubrey Rogers. Very good run on their end. Great way of getting around that defense.
Right, and just generally speaking, Southeast's defense, and I know I keep blazing their defense, but the defense is just so strong. They have very good utilization of how they use their players accordingly, and they adapt their strengths and weaknesses just over.
Second down and 5 for the Patriots.
I agree. A passing play by Aubrey Rogers. And that is a successful pass by Aubrey Roberts. Straight down that field. Great play by the Patriots right there.
Number 1, Harrison Lyons with the big play for the Aubrey Rogers team. Nice throw by Coletti. Coletti on the carry. He takes it down inside the 10-yard line.
All right, let's see what the Patriots are doing. Because now I think the Patriots could get another touchdown, making it seem like the Patriots put up a little bit more of a fight with Southeast.
Hey, comeback. I mean, if the Patriots win here, that would be insane, right?
That would be just God's grace. Literally, I kid you not.
And there's a flag on the play currently. Let's see nature of it.
Yeah, they really they surrounded numbers because here I can't really see the angle there, but they really tackled down one of their players. They surrounded him in every direction and corner. Like, he could not get up. And that's the type of defense you really want. You want it to where like they literally need assistance to get up off and back on their feet. And I really think Southeast is taking advantage of that, and they're literally just pulverizing whoever has the ball in every corner possible.
And that was a penalty against Aubrey Rogers. Not sure what it was, but that is really backing them up away from that end zone.
Right. I'm just really curious to see how the Patriots are going to do better on here, because I'm more or less, because we all know that Southeast is going to win here, but I'm curious to see what last-minute efforts that the Patriots could make to change the scoreboard.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen. And a passing play by Aubrey Rogers.
Oh, and he got a touchdown.
And that is an that is a Patriots touchdown right there.
Touchdown by the
very good play by the Patriots. Really going in there very interesting to watch.
Honestly, I really think that with the Patriots, and now that, especially now that Southeast has the ball, Southeast now has two options. They can either A, stall the ball, or B, they could really just stall the ball. There's no other option. They could just stall the ball and just drain out the clock. So because now that the Patriots now have it 46-19, they still can't relatively win, but Southeast could still make it to where they almost can't do anything. They could do something, but not anything.
Possibly. And that is a successful conversion for Aubrey Roberts, bringing the score 46-20, Southeast in favor.
100%. And now that it's 46-20, at least the Patriots are putting up a fight this time, because now it's to an extent where the Patriots are not making those weird and unusual plays, like just suddenly stopping at the 40-yard line for no reason for 1 second based off of what we know of, and then just completely dropping and just stopping everything, or just chucking the ball towards the track field and towards the Patriots fans.
I completely agree. Very interested to see how this Southeast possession will go. I personally believe that Southeast right now is just going to try and run down the clock, just try and waste time and get this game over.
Honestly, because realistically speaking here, there isn't really any purpose in gaining more points, because it's almost a 50-point game in total, and along with the fact that they still have like a 20-point advantage, actually 26-point lead advantage. Forgive me for my math here, but just there's no point of really getting more touchdowns. They could just stall the ball and they'll still win regardless.
Southeast now has possession of the ball, and they are running right through there, down at the 20-yard line, starting at the 20-yard line for their next possession.
Right, and honestly, with Southeast in general, I really am curious to see how they're going to do this, because now they're presented with a choice. Playing offense isn't a bad thing, but playing defense isn't a bad thing either, because either option would work, and they would technically both give you the same outcome, but it's only just how you would play it. So I'm curious to see how Southeast is going to really approach this with less than 3 minutes left on the clock for the fourth quarter, ending the whole game.
I completely agree. Let's see how this next play goes for Southeast. And it is a running play by Southeast.
Oh,
Southeast
he's running.
And that is a first down already.
Nope, he's good.
For Southeast.
He's good.
How
nope,
far
touchdown. It's
can
over.
he go? And that is another touchdown by Southeast. One-upping the last one that happened, being now my favorite play of the game so far.
Yep.
Already outdone themselves.
Not only that, but Southeast now officially sets the record of 52 to 20 guaranteed with almost a 30-point lead, which is really, really good.
You know, you just really love to see it.
You love to see it.
This is why we play football. This is why we watch football, and this is why we cheer for the Noles. 100%.
And just generally speaking here, Southeast is now getting this reward of not having to do literally anything, because no matter if the Patriots get any touchdown or, get anything at all, they can't do anything because it still gives them the same outcome.
Let's see how this next Aubrey Roberts possession will go. And that is a running play with a flag on the play.
Oh, wow. All right, let's see what the flag's for and who's going to get it. We've currently got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left on the clock. Watching it be 52 to 20.
Yes. Really do love winning, I will say. It's just great.
All right, this is a little bit weird. I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, let's see how this next play will go. Let's see. And Southeast is attempting to run the ball.
Oh, he's running.
Straight forward, a gain of roughly 3 yards, I'd say.
Yeah, but just generally speaking with Southeast as a whole, they're all doing really good. They're playing their cards right. And like I said before, it's not necessarily about the team. It's not necessarily about the food as well. It's not the reason why we play football, but it's the matter of the fact of how you utilize your strengths and your weaknesses. It's the ways of how you clash.
Let's see how this next play will go. I do believe Aubrey Roberts will get possession before the end of this game. However, there is only 50 seconds left on the clock, so might not be the case.
Yeah, and generally speaking, we all know that Southeast gets the win here, so it seems like we're probably going to have the game ended to 46-20. Yeah, so yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the game, and that's the last regular game before the Noles go into the playoffs. I do not know if we are commentating for that at all. Thank you guys very much for tuning in and subscribing. If you guys love these streams very much, please leave a like and subscribe. It helps us out a lot. It means the world to me and David, and we just love your support. It tells us you guys like us stuff. I'm your host, David Censio.
And I'm David Morgan. Thank you all so very much for watching, and happy Halloween.
Have a safe remainder of your Halloween weekend. Aubrey Rogers fans and everybody else, drive safely on your way home. Thank you for being here and being part of the high school football experience at Southeast High School, John Kiker Memorial Stadium.